Pero... al lío. Chin, chin, chin. Ah, sí, 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 el rastro de sangre. Sigue. Sigue el rastro de sangre. Triángulo.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Vale. Sí, 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 por aquí lo dejamos, por aquí lo dejamos.
Crush the leech, boys! You're made! Shit!
¡Ay! ¿Se hijo puta? A mí no me haga eso, Si me hace eso te muerto. Cacho perro. Digo, me dispara a los perros te muerdo, A mí no me... ¿Tú qué te crees?
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, right? Pues yo qué sé. Tú sabrás, amigo, si está cerrado.
Sorry, sir. No admittance. Over there! There's one of them vermin!
No, me reviento, Placa de plano, esquela de aluminio. Mucha mierda me dan nada más, Me tengo que liar. Ah, bueno. Un poquito de ropa sí que nos podían dar, ¿no? ¡Ole! Mis 5 chelines. Un poquito de ropa, niño. Un poquito de ropa, señor. Por favor. Son malas personas, en verdad. Un nido menos. ¿Un nido de qué?
Sir, step away!
Vale, perdón, perdón.
I'd step back, sir.
Perdón, perdón, perdón.
Did you hear me?
Sí, sí, me estoy yendo, me estoy yendo.
I'd bloody leech! Shit! You'll pay for that!
¡Fu, fu! Un golpe que no lo comemos, no lo comemos, no lo comemos. No nos hemos comido el primacho, ¿no? ¡Uy, balas, balas, balas! A tope ahí, pim, pam, pim, pam. Vale. ¿Qué ha hecho? Harry. Harry, ¿cómo hemos llegado hasta aquí? ¿Qué hemos hecho? ¡Ay, Dios mío! ¡Que me teletransportaron! Y yo sin saberlo. Toma. Ah, ya. ¿Esto cómo es? Y mis poderes mágicos de vampiro. De vampirinidad. Eso lo sabe todo el mundo. Todo el mundo sabe cosas de los vampiros. Por ejemplo, como que si les da el sol, brillan. Hombre, por favor. Que no ha visto el crúspulo. El crúspulo. Ah, que no era ahí. Vaya, pues. Hay un coleccionable. Sé que algunos de nuestros compañeros consideran que la mejor ventaja que tenemos en nuestra lucha contra las sanguijuelas es que no pueden salir de día. Por tanto, debemos darle caza mientras se ocultan indefensos en su letargo. Hijos de puta, nos matan mientras dormimos. Qué hijos de puta. Qué malas personas. Ratas de escondite, las ratas suelen venir acerca de los escondites. Son hay 3 para federar. Ah, las ratas, las que me he comido antes, quiero decir, ¿no?
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Somos unos puercos, amigos.
I have this thirst for blood.
Ay, Dios mío. Antonio. Se lo censuro porque eso está muy feo, niños. No mordáis las ratas, no. No se muerden las ratas, niños. Que a saber después lo que puede tener eso, No te lo digo.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Yo pensaba que iba a coger las tacas. Uy, 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 uy. Equípate 2 manos. Y pulsa triángulo para usar la habilidad especial, por ejemplo. A ver. Porque yo es que estas cosas no me estoy enterando de una puta mierda. ¿Dónde está mi inventario? Inventario. No tenemos un... ¿Qué he hecho? No sé qué he hecho, pero bueno, da igual. Entra despacito, amigo, despacito. Despacito. No me deja hacer nada.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
¿Sí? ¿Qué te crees yo? Vaya hostia que te da, amigo.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. I cannot enter. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Pues ya estaríamos, primo. ¿Me lleva? ¿Cómo va,
Where are
padre?
we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
And for that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship is in sync. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Bueno.
Come on, you bastard! You can do It's my turn.
Nada.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, dry it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place. Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Camino rojo. Este camino rojo.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up! I'm not one to make waste, Doctor. I'm not one to make waste, Doctor. Patience with me. Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up! Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here. Dr. Swansea asked me to...
Descansa para evolucionar. Esa es mi misión, ¿no? Bueno.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Un momentito. Arregla. Estaba moviendo una cosita. Estoy con la ventana abierta, hace un poquito fresqueta, la verdad.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun.
An invisible enemy?
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks...
Bueno, pues aquí te quedas. Ah, bueno, no puedo ya.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Lo sabes, ¿eh? Si quiere algo, me llama. Ahora vais.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver.
That's quite a blunt intro.
You can call me Milton.
I'm not sure I understand what you're...
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever...
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital?
I've been an ambulance driver since...
It sounds like...
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital?
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor.
Since you're on the front line, how is the...
It's a complete disaster. It's even...
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days. And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Por aquí no.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fellow.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it?
What do you mean? You remained perfectly nice and polite.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief.
How did you end up in...
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went...
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
What is the general situation?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of
Who leads the gang?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is...
Please, describe to me.
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Hogan?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howe?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking of the...
I see.
Thank you, mortal.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently...
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took...
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you precisely why?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't...
Who is treating you?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me.
You don't seem worried by...
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned...
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about...
No offense. I was pushing.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we...
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary. She could decide to bite less willing patients.
And it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed?
In her madness, she never refers to...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
The pain. It's here again.
I wish I could be sick again.
Down, my boy.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you? I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get...
Tell me about the doc...
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best.
What do you mean? Tell me about...
Strickland and Aykroyd.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wood and nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that
I won't...
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself?
In other circumstances, you would be right. Tell me about yourself.
I'm just a regular...
I was more...
I'm a carpenter.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Waste your time with me.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly.
Does my arrival inconvenience you?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share
It seems you have bad...
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as science.
We can at least agree on something. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive.
And what exactly is that?
I served in the war just like you.
Be careful what you insinuate.
I only want you to admit you used those men to
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
If you have a problem...
Dr. Swansea has imposed...
I know we've never met before.
Oh, but I...
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague. And very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea. But I am still a free man. And I will speak to you the way I want.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
No.
Really?
I don't want to talk.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here.
Yes.
Could you at least tell me your name?
Mortimer.
Tell me about yourself.
I don't want to...
How painful is...
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son who needs...
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer.
What can you tell me?
Not much to say.
Are you really that rich?
Yes.
May I ask if you have an occupation?
I'm a teacher by profession.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in...
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Well, is it?
How long have...
Well, long enough to see that the...
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve.
Sorry.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerning
Why is Milton grumpy?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned.
How would you describe this?
It's serious.
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry. I'm exhausted.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end...
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering
What?
continues.
Voy a la calle. ¡Pirurín! Sí, la normal de antes.
So it is true. The famous...
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember.
He was also very confident.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor.
You're right. This is a war, Dr. Reed. And I don't intend to so...
What can you tell me?
Some are really good.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most
You really seem to admire her skill.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, She would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the...
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve.
Ah, yes, the burden of command.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr.
Yo
Reed,
te
any
quería.
good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
No,
Goodbye,
no, no.
Nurse Hawkins. It's locked, all right.
¿Qué sabemos de Pipa? Faltan 4 notas. Estaban arriba dando por culo, ¿verdad? Hola, loca.
It's locked.
Not now.
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water. The flower's dying. It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Yo creo que ya por hoy tenemos. Bueno, y nada.